Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to know for sure that it's done and it's yours. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from a subscriber today that said, you know, Tom, it just doesn't seem to be happening, and I just don't know what else to do. I've watched videos, yours and others. I've been implementing processes, and it's just not happening. Can you just maybe give me something else? What can I do? Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. So here's what I want to say. That the big thing that I want to say, and I've said this before, but never like I'm going to say it today, that it's not about making anything happen out there in 3D. Hear this. Instead, it's simply accepting your desire. You hear this? Even as I read the email, I felt it. I felt like there's non-acceptance there. Because when you don't accept what is, when you're rejecting reality, you're rejecting your desire. Hear this, it's about accepting it. So I really want to hit this today. And in fact, I prepared this lesson, and then I went, I had to go and fill up my tank because I'm doing a road trip tomorrow. So I went to get some gas, and as I was driving there, I was trying to think of how do I really get this person to see what I see, right? To see this broader perspective. And it's interesting. So as I got in line for the gas, there was a little line there, and I'm pulling up towards the pump, and I had to wait because there was an orange cone in front of me and a sign on that pump that it was out of order. But the one in front, there was a car there still, and they were just finishing up. But for sure, the person behind me started blowing his horn really hard. And not only that, the people behind him then started blowing the horn. And I'm like, you know, I couldn't move. I couldn't get it up. They couldn't see, hear this, they couldn't see what I see. This didn't occur to me when this was happening, by the way. I was like, guys, I'm looking around, I'm just kind of throwing my hands up. Finally, the person in front of, the pump in front of the one that was out of order, that person left, and I pulled up and in, and of course that person in a huff moves up, but then he couldn't move in because there was the cone there. And then everyone stopped blowing their horns. It calmed because there was no reason to. They just couldn't see what I see. So that's what happens. You're just blowing your horn and making a fuss because you just can't see it. And that's really what I want to get through today, right? And again, this didn't occur to me until I got back to my studio, grabbed a cup of coffee, and thought, okay, I'm gonna check out the video, and I'm thinking, that's it. That's it. They just can't see what I see. They can't see that broader perspective. And think of it this way. It's not about in this example, let's even modify the example and say that I see a wide open unlimitedness in front of me. Yet you can't see that. So you're afraid to move up. You're afraid to move up in front of me because you think it's blocked. It's really the other way, right? This is huge. So let's unpack this a little bit more. I also want to answer your question. A few of you have written me and said, well, what if you have that you liked the 369 method by Nikola Tesla based on his teachings? But what if you have multiple desires? Well, I'm going to talk about that towards the end of the video. But let's unpack this. So stop trying to make something happen out there. And you don't even have to try to make something happen within. The way you make something happen within is you accept your desire when you have it with gratitude and love. Like any other precious gift. Wouldn't you accept it with gratitude and love and just hug the person who gave it to you? Hug infinity. Right? Hug God, hug all there is for giving you these, for gifting you these desires. Right? Think of it that way, right? And write it out. Write a thank you note to God or infinite intelligence or the universe or whatever you want to call it. Right? And some of you said, is it okay if I just read my desires or I just speak my desires? Yes. You don't have to necessarily write it out, but writing is powerful. And again, it's about getting in that frequency. But send a thank you note, right? Verbally, or write it out to infinity, right? Thank you for that wonderful gift, right? Remember, the universe abhors a vacuum, and it will rush in to fill it. So as soon as you send a thank you note, as soon as, like even in that's why the 369 method is so powerful. As you write those out, as you get in that frequency, you have created a vacuum that the universe, that God, that all there is must fill with your desire. Wow, that's big. It must rush in now and fill it with everything that you desire. That's big, unless you're holding resistance and not letting it in by beeping your horn. Right? Unless you got your hand laid on that horn, right? Get your hand up the horn, get that broader perspective that it's all yours anyway, right? Hear this, right? So completely identify yourself with your desire by accepting it as a gift and giving thanks to the divine. That's how you completely identify with it. That's how you completely merge with your desire that's already within you. You're within your desires, and your desires are within you. You're merging with it. That's how you do it. That's why these manifesting methods are so powerful, right? So let's unpack this a little bit more. When God desires and creates something, God becomes it. Hear this, immediately. We were made in God's image. God became us so we could become God, right? So we could then create our own reality. We were made in God's image. Your desires exist in you and you in them. There's no separation, right? Trying to make something happen makes no sense in this context, right? Just like the person behind me, and then all the people behind them, they all follow suit. They're all trying to make something happen, right? You don't have to. Just take your hand off the horn and realize that it's all yours anyway. There are no blockages. Right? Nothing can be manifested or created in 3D without the intention to bring it forth. It's the intention. That's why it makes the 369 method so powerful. You're setting those intentions, right? You become the frequency of your desires. That's what we're talking about here. That's what makes that technique so powerful. So some of you ask me, well, what about multiple desires? What can I do then? Well, I have this technique that I use, and I love it because it gets you into the frequency of abundance, right? The unlimitedness, it gets you feeling the unlimitedness of the universe, right? And so I call it stacking your desires, right? The frequency of unlimited abundance or infinite supply, right? It's infinite. So stack your desires. You're not going to confuse the universe, right? Now, if you start getting fear like, oh, I can only do one at a time, then only do one at a time. But you don't have to. You can stack them. They all exist now, right? Remember, the universe is a hologram. It contains everything in every portion. And really, even in one desire, hear this, even in one desire that you focus on, all your desires are within that one desire. The universe is a hologram. A hologram means no matter how you cut it up, the whole is contained in the part, in the whole, right? Hear this. It's big, right? So you can either stack your desires, focus on one desire. Either way, it's everything. You get it all, right? Thank you, Father, God, the universe, your higher self, right, for these 9 divine gifts. I do it in 9. This is the 369 method. This is a variation of it, right? And then just list them. I have amazing friends, marrying my SP. This isn't related, I'm just making these up, right? Unlimited cash flow, world travel, peace and harmony, right? It doesn't have to be things, it can be states of mind, right? Job promotion, perfect health, loving family, my 3D experience. Thank you for my 3D experience, right? Thanking it for that, right? So 9 desires, right? 9 intentions, 9 thank yous, right? And then read the list, right? Read it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. There's no need to rewrite the list, right? Set the intention. Thank you, Father. Thank you, universe, for these 9 gifts. And then list them under that thank you, right? That's your thank you note to the universe using the 3-6-9 method, right? Then read that list 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night, right? Saying the whole complete intention, right? Thank you, Father, for amazing friends, for marrying my SP, for unlimited cash flow, for 9 days, right? And then detach from the outcome, then let it go. Remember, when you think of one intention at a time or one desire at a time, you're thinking in linear time. You're thinking linear thinking. You're thinking with the rational mind, the lower mind, right? There's no confusion in infinity, right? It contains the whole, right? Then detach from it and let it come to you. Right? That's really how to know it's yours, how to know it's done, and how to manifest multiple desires. I am your host, Tom Caron, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Caron, our website at tomcaron.com, at BeSomethingWonderful.com, or write me anytime. I always love to hear from you at info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. Until next time, with great love, this is Tom. See you soon.